snack. Me and you gonna have a little chat about books. Hi guys, so I am here today to do a book haul, which is super exciting. I'm sorry I've been away for a little while. I have been sick and you never really feel like doing anything when you're sick. Reading is one thing and filming videos is really another thing, so I haven't been doing them, unfortunately, which is a real shame because I really wanted to film a load of videos for you guys, and I have actually been reading a fair amount even though I was sick for a week. So this is just a mini kind of book haul. Not that many, realistically, there's quite a few books, but these are all the books that I have picked up across the month of February for various different reasons, and I'm going to show you guys what they are, so let's get started. The first thing that I picked up in February is not actually a book, it's actually an issue of a comic, and that is Saga issue 25, because I have the first 4 volumes of Saga and I love them all, but I really desperately wanted to find out what happened next, so I actually went to my local comic book store, and for the first time ever I bought a single issue of a comic, which was super exciting, and that was issue 25 of Saga, which I have read and I really enjoyed. I gave it 4 stars. It was very fun. I loved being back in the world. I didn't think this was as exciting as some of the other issues, just not a lot happens in this single issue, but I loved being back in the world and I really enjoyed it. So if you have not read Saga or picked up Saga yet, I would definitely recommend it. It's one of my all-time favourite graphic novel series and I would absolutely love to hear what you guys think of it, so do let me know if any of these books you have read and what you thought of them if you have. Next I have picked up Transformation, which is the first one in the Ray Kira series, and this is by Carol Berg. And I was actually recommended this by one of you guys. I really don't know very much about it, but I love the colour scheme, and although it's quite old worldy in design, I just really like the colour scheme and the cover, so I actually just ended up buying this, not really knowing anything about it. It says on the back, Seon is a man waiting to die. He has been a slave for 16 years and he's lost everything of meaning to him. His dignity, the people and homeland he loves, even power that he once wielded as a warden of the souls. So it sounds pretty fun, it sounds interesting, it sounds like it's pretty good. It's not too long, just under 500 pages, so it's not massively long, but it's definitely one that I'm really interested in, and I don't know too much about it, but it has been recommended to me a couple of times, so I'm really interested to check out a new author, and this would be a new author. So I might be reading that sometime in the future. Let me know if any of these books you really want me to read soon, and I'll definitely try and fit them in because I am really excited about some of these. Next I have a book that I was sent by the author, and that is Foehammer, and this is by Duncan Campbell, and he is an English writer and he offered me a copy of this book for free, so I'm probably going to be reading this book in March, and hopefully I will have a review up for this very soon. It's quite a short book, so it should be pretty easy to get through. It says on the back, 20 years from now, a virus breaks out in a couple of Arctic naval bases, and then, even more strangely, inside the White House. The guards become animated corpses, and rescue teams are rendered helpless by a mysterious trance effect. So it sounds kind of fantastical, kind of zombie apocalypse type thing, so I'm really interested in this. It's not typically what I read, but it's definitely something that sounds interesting and has an appeal to it, so I'm really interested. It's actually quite a heavy book, so it's definitely a dense one even though it looks quite small. It's around 300 pages, just under, so hopefully this one won't take me very long to get through, and I'm definitely intrigued as to what this is all about, so that's something I'll be reading in March. Next I had to pick up this book as part of my course because I'm doing a project surrounding this book, and that is Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. This, of course, is a classic, it's a children's classic, and it's actually a story that I absolutely loved when I was younger. This edition is the Macmillan's Classic edition, which I absolutely love. It's hardback, it's beautiful, the spine is really awesome, just everything about these copies is really lovely, so I definitely want to collect a few more of these. But I bought this so that I could reread the story and get back into the world because I'm doing a uni project about it. So I'm really loving it. I've already read this book. I love the world. I love Alice in Wonderland. I love the craziness and the epicness of it all. And I would highly recommend this. If you've never read Alice in Wonderland, I definitely think it's a great one. And I will be putting up a review of this very soon. So look out for that as well. But I really love this book, so I'm super happy to have this beautiful edition of it. Next, I picked up a book on a recommendation from Saga over at Inkbones Books, and that is A Natural History of Dragons, a memoir by Lady Trent, which is the first one in the Memoirs of Lady Trent series, I believe, and this is by Marie Brennan. And Sana raved about this book and she said it was really, really interesting. It's essentially got dragons in it, but it's not really focused on dragons, so don't be fooled by the title. The title is a little bit misleading. It's actually about the study of dragons, and it's more focused on Lady Trent herself and her growing up and taking an interest in dragons and finding out all about these mythical creatures and looking at them in an anthropomorphic way and sort of seeing what it's all about. So I'm really interested. I don't have any sort of history of knowing anything about anthropology, but I'm really interested in it. She just sold me on this book straight away, and it does have illustrations as well. There are these beautiful illustrations every now and then as well of like dragons and things to do with dragons, so I'm really looking forward to this, and I definitely think that this will be one that I'll be picking up fairly soon, hopefully in the next few months, because again, it's not a massively long book. It's 350-ish pages, but it looks really beautiful. I'm so happy that I finally own this because it's one I've been eyeballing for such a long time because of the stunning cover, and now I've been convinced to pick it up, so I did, and I'm super happy. Next, I have a few books that I'm planning to pick up as buddy reads in the next few months, and I wanted to get my hands on them before the months began. So they are Malice by John Gwynne. This book I've heard a lot of really, really wonderful things about. It's the first one in the Faithful and the Fallen series, and I've heard stunning things about this. The writing in this is absolutely minute, like really, really tiny, and it's quite a long book, so I definitely feel like it's going to take me a while, this one. It's like 630 pages, but it's definitely a long book, and there's very, very tiny writing, so I think it will take me a while. I do believe that Michael and I will be reading this in the next few months, so I'm really, really looking forward to picking this up then, but I don't know a massive amount about it. I just love the cover. I think the design of the typography in particular and the colour scheme is just so gorgeous. So I love this book already, but I'm really interested. I think it's going to be fairly kind of standard fantasy, but with a lot of characters maybe. It says, the banished lands have a violent past where armies of men and giants clashed in a battle. An uneasy peace reigns, but now giants stir once more. The very stones weep blood, and there are sightings of gigantic worms. Those who can still read the signs see a prophecy realised. Sorrow will darken the world as angels and demons make it their battlefield. So it sounds amazing. Angels, demons are really, really cool. I absolutely love it when mythology comes into books. I think it's really interesting, and it's definitely something I will be looking forward to and hopefully picking up in the next few months. So again, if you read this, do let me know your thoughts and whether you would recommend it. I'm really looking forward to it. Next, another book that I'm also planning on reading with Michael, hopefully in the next few months, is Range of Ghosts, and this will be my first ever Elizabeth Bear book. I've heard very good things about this. I believe it's quite an interesting one because it's set in a kind of different culture, and it's fantasy looking at a different culture. I believe it's Malaysian, which really intrigues me. The moment I heard that, I had to pick this book up. Once 100 moons rose every evening with Mother Night across the eternal sky. Once there were hundreds of sons and grandsons of the great Kagan who ruled the steppes from one edge of the world to the other. Now the flame of civil war is burning, and Tema's iron moon is one of only a handful remaining in the eternal sky. So it sounds like it's a really interesting idea. I love the covers of these books. I think they're really, really stunning. This one is actually secondhand. Most of the books that I'm showing you are secondhand. There are a few new ones, but most of them I got from World of Books, which I have recommended to you guys before. World of Books do secondhand books, but they are UK based, so it is free UK delivery, and the books themselves are very reasonable, and I got this off of that website, so I would definitely recommend them because they're always pretty decent quality. This looks like basically brand new. I am really looking forward to this, really interested in it, and hopefully she will be an awesome writer and I'll really like it, so we will see. Again, I don't think this one is too long, so hopefully it won't take me too long to get through. It's like 325-ish pages. Next, I have a sequel to a book that I am reading currently, and that is the sequel to The Red Knight by Miles Cameron, which is The Fell Sword. This one is the continuation of the story, I'm assuming. I am currently reading The Red Knight, so I don't know quite how it's all going to finish up. I am like almost halfway through The Red Knight. I was meant to read most of it for this month, but because I was sick, unfortunately I haven't got all the way through it yet, but I'm planning to read as much as I can in this next week. But I really love it so far. I think it's really well written, and I'm definitely sure I'm going to enjoy it. So I ended up picking up the second one because I had to fill up an Amazon order up to £10 to get the free delivery, and this one was gonna be perfect to fill it up to £10. So I added this one in, and I'm super excited. I'm not going to read the blurb because I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but the blurb of The Red Knight I can read, and that says, 28 florins a month is nowhere near enough when a wyvern's jaws snap shut on your helmet in the hot stink of battle and the beast starts to rip the head from your shoulders. But if standing and fighting is hard, leading a company of mercenaries against the smart, deadly creatures of the wild is even harder. So far, I'm really enjoying The Red Knight, and I'm definitely sure that I'm going to be enjoying the second one as well when I get to that. So yeah, it is a massively long book though. These are, again, huge books, so they probably will take me a while. This one is 715 pages, and the first one is 766, so there's not much in it between them, but they both have really tiny writing. But I'm really excited about them, and I'm definitely looking forward to continuing on with the series. And finally, I have a few Kindle books as well that I picked up recently. Blameless, which is the third one in the Parasol Protectorate series, because I read Changeless, the second one, this month, and I loved it. It was so much fun. So I'm definitely going to be continuing on with that series in March, and hopefully I will love this third one as well. But I'm really loving it. I think that the world is just really fun. It's got a lot of parody on Victorian England society, and it's just a lot of fun. There are really cool fantastical elements, and the characters themselves are just amusing and entertaining, so I would definitely recommend this series. And I picked up the third one to continue on. I also picked up the third one in the Magician series by Lev Grossman. I read the first one and I didn't really like it. Then this month I read the second one and I actually really liked it. I gave it 4 stars, so there will be a review of that coming out very soon as well. And so I decided I would continue on with the series and finish it up. So the third one I have just picked up on my Kindle, The Magician's Land, and I'm really excited to see how the whole trilogy is going to tie up and how everything is going to end and what will happen to our characters, because the second one was so much better than the first one that I would definitely recommend going on with this series even though you don't like the first one, because it was definitely worth reading on. So that is everything I believe that I have picked up in the last few weeks, and I'm really looking forward to reading all of the new books. I'm definitely intrigued about them all and wondering which I should pick up first, so if you have any thoughts on which ones you would definitely like me to read very soon, do leave me comments, or if you've read any of them and you would recommend them, do leave me your thoughts as well. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all very soon in another video. Bye! Me and you gonna have a little chat about the